So, this morning's reminder was to be taking things one thing at a time. I needed that one today, and it just happened to pop up, and it was like perfect for me because I'm like, yesterday I was working, and I got this client that I'm trying to get the multiple rentals to the tax program, so I'm showing the girl in the office how to do that. I got the other girl in the office asking me how to fix this item. I've got my partner who lost connection to his computer trying to get back into it, and so I had to remote to his computer and show him how to fix that. Then I've got the client that I'm actually working on pulling the data out and putting it into the accounting system so I can get it over to the tax program. And then the other client finally gave me what I needed, and I get that. And then the phone rang and a client needed his 1099s and that. And then another client text messaged me right at the same time needing something to do with Georgia Department of Labor. And I just heard back, I said, remind me Tuesday. But I was like, oh my goodness, the tension, the stress, everything was just building up, and I was just like, and I could feel, literally feel my heart right now. I could feel it start to just race, thinking about everything that was hitting me all at one time. And there was more, that was just part of it. So what I did was I told myself, regroup, forget it, one thing at a time. I kept repeating that in my head, one thing at a time. Not always possible. I am quite a bit of a multitasker, but you have to be able to focus on what is in front of you. Each thing you do, you have to focus on it and get it done. When you start to get overwhelmed, it's because you're worrying too much about what's going to happen possibly, and not what you were immediately able to take care of and do. So that's something to kind of think about. Be in the moment more, and really try to just be right where you are in the moment, focusing on what you are doing, and not worrying so much about what is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to get there, right? But let's be where we are. Try to figure out why in the world my thing, when I just moved my hand, it just started beeping at me, so sorry about that. When you move a certain way, it takes pictures and stuff, and I was like, what is it doing? But there we go. I procrastinate. Okay, or sidetracked, or whatever. Yeah, I'm not procrastinating. I hate procrastinating. So, yeah, I do sometimes, but I really hate it. I hate it because you don't get things done when you put things off either. So one thing at a time. That's where we are right now. We're not on putting things off. We're on one thing at a time. We're focusing on what is in front of us. We're making a plan for what we're going to do, but we're not going to worry about it. Make a plan. Put down the steps. Take it one step at a time, and you're going to find that you are able to tackle your goals more. You're going to feel more relaxed. You're going to enjoy the process more and everything else. So if you are struggling, maybe that's the reason. Stop, take a look within, and start taking it one thing at a time. This morning, I started off with my chin-ups. I literally did do one workout at a time. I'm like, this is what I'm working on, my chin-ups and my chin-up holds. And I used my chin-up holds as my motivation. I really did a lot of talking to myself this morning to that motivation chin-ups and holds. Holding it up there, holding through, knowing that you can pull yourself up and hold through anything you come across. It was a reminder of that. That's why I love doing the chin-ups, because they remind me what I am doing, and I can pull through anything that comes up, right? So that was the chin-ups. Yummy. And then after the chin-ups, it was the upper body blast for cardio, and then it was strength, and then it was stretching. So it was sectioned off, right? So I hit it. I was like, okay, it's the cardio time. Hit the cardio. It was done. Okay, this is what we're doing for the strength time. It's the strength time. Oh, it's the stretch time. It's the feel good time. Yay! So got that done and everything. One thing at a time. Finished that one up, and then it was on to the obliques, really targeting and getting in there to the obliques and crunching them out there. So that was fun, twisting it up and everything else. And I really had to tell myself, okay, come on, you can do this one rep at a time. Just keep going, just keep pushing. As I'm twisting up into those ones, it was tough. For me, it was tough. I don't know, maybe not for you, but it was tough. But it was fun, and I got through that one. And then the squats today were squat uppercuts. So that was fun getting through those. Those now I said 10 at a time, or 20 reps, yeah, but it was sets at a time, right? So one thing at a time. Don't look at the whole big picture sometimes, because the whole big picture can get overwhelming. And when I look at saying I got to do all this stuff, it can be overwhelming. Well, I look at, no, I'm going to go do my chin-ups. No, I'm going to go do this. No, I'm going to go do that. One thing at a time. Easy. You can do it. You've got it, right? So that's where I know I've gone over one thing at a time before. But this was just like from today and from yesterday. So when I read that today, I was like, oh, slam. Yeah, one thing at a time. And then I had later on in the day, I was like, I didn't get my steps in. I had my treadmill on my desk. So I was walking on my treadmill while finishing up the tax return. And then one of the other employees that works remotely called in because she needed help with stuff and to go over some stuff. So I had to help her with what she was doing at the same time that I was doing all that. So one thing at a time was like 3 or 4 things at a time, but I was focusing on, well, really, I wasn't really focusing on the walking, because as long as I put my hand on the desk, that's like not even part of it. I'm focusing on the accounting. I'm focusing on what she needs. I'm focusing on, because if she's telling me what she needs and I'm focusing on this over here, I didn't hear what she said. Yeah, I've done that. And I have to regroup, and I'm like, oh, no, okay, you gotta focus on what she's saying, because she needs your help. That client calls in, they need your attention. You can't be off from your brain and something else. You have to draw it in and regroup and say, okay, this is where I'm at right now. This is where I am tomorrow. This is where I'm at this moment. Okay, now I can go back to this moment. And it's hard, because when you get pulled all over the place, it's hard to stay focused on what you need to be doing. Hence, yeah, I'm all over the place, right? It's hard to stay focused on what you're doing. So sometimes you really have to sit down and say, okay, I'm not dealing with, which I had to do yesterday. I've covered up my email. I'm not dealing with email for right now, because that's just going to be another thing. The Zoom messaging was going off like crazy from people messaging and meeting things. I had to just like, okay, I'm going to be offline for a few minutes and just tone that out for a second so I could focus and get done with what was in front of me. So you got to find your balance, find your way. One thing at a time does not necessarily mean that you're not going to have multiple things coming at you, but you got to break it down. Break it down, take a breath, and hit it one thing at a time.